everyone, and welcome to week 2 of Watercolor Journal Club. And this week for Tiny Watercolors in June, we are painting animals. So our theme is animals. Any animal you want to paint. I will be painting a few throughout the week. I started with a bird and this tiger, so I wanted to share that with you. And also welcome anyone and invite anyone to join us. It's not too late. I have a video up on how to make the watercolor journals. Mine is a 3 by 3.5 inch journal, and I know some people are making smaller ones, maybe a little bigger. No limit on tiny, just whatever is small for you. Like if you're a big painter and you just want to try to paint a little smaller, go a little smaller. But I thought it would be a fun challenge to paint really tiny. So, and it's a little quicker too. So I know some people have a little less time right now, maybe because kids are out of school, different reasons, work, all kinds of things. So just thought it'd be a really fun challenge. So in this one, I'm painting a tiger, and I don't know how much you guys want me to talk about technique and drawing and things. So you can leave some comments here, and I'm happy to go more in depth on other demonstrations and things or answer your questions. Not sure how experienced everybody is in watercolor, so I wanted to demonstrate painting the tiger and just come on and talk about the Watercolor Journal Club and everything. So Watercolor Journal Club, this is the first month. We just kicked it off here, and I thought it would be a really fun thing to do different challenges every month. So this month was the Tiny Watercolors in June, and we have the first week is making your tiny journal, and then we have week 2 is animals, week 3 is florals, and week 4 will be food. So we're just going to fill up our little journals, and you can do one painting a week. Every time you do a painting or when you make your journal and post it, every time you post, you're entered to win a sketchbook. And I'll see how many entries there are and decide how many I'll give away. So far we have a good little group going, so if you want to join, it's not too late at all, and you can join anytime and just start posting the theme of the week and just get your sketchbook made up. It's a pretty easy project. You can watch that video and check that out. It's the video before this one. So I'll start talking a little bit about drawing and painting here, and again, if you have any questions about that in the comments or anything you want me to address more, please ask below, or you can ask over on Instagram as well. I'd love to help you if you want to learn to up your painting skills, or if you have anything you want to learn about drawing. So what I did is, this is a photo I took at the zoo of a tiger, and I took it. The great thing about the tiny journal is you don't have to print it any bigger or enlarge it. So I took it on my phone, and your phone screen is about the size of your journal probably, so it's kind of fun. But I printed it up, and I was looking at it over to the side here while I was painting it, and proportionally I like to teach people to draw using the grid method. I think it helps. So if you guys want me to cover that at all, I can do a video on that. If you already know what that is, I'll just leave that be. But it's basically where you draw a grid, and so you draw each quadrant, and that helps. I think that helps you to learn proportions. So you could take a large drawing or a large picture, and you could size it down, or you could go bigger, and your eye would be developed to do that. So I think the grid method helps a lot, and that's where I start people when drawing. And I also always give the tip of, think of everything as a large shape. Don't think of detail, don't think of tiger's head. Instead, look at that. That looks like a roundish triangle to me. So when I draw that in first, doing the big shapes, and then I go down to the details. And I'm never thinking this is an eye, this is a nose. I'm thinking, oh, this is an almond shape. And then when I paint, I'm starting to really almost meditate. I don't know. You're looking at the image, and you're really focused on what that looks like, instead of thinking this is an eye and knowing what an eye looks like. You're really looking at that eye when you're painting it. So there's that. And then for colors, I can teach that too if you need more information about that. But I like to, in a painting, use no more than 4 or 5 colors at the max, and I'm constantly mixing them together so that your painting is very cohesive. So like I'm using the quinacridone orange on the tiger. I will mix some of that in with the sap green for the green in the background, and I'll add some blue in there. I have some blue that I'll add on the tiger for shadow, so it's all very cohesive. And even that pink, it was some of the quinacridone orange with some of the yellow that I used in the beginning, and I may have even added a little blue in there too. So just keeping it very cohesive. With watercolor, you saw I started by adding some water. I wanted everything to fan out and be light, and then later I went in and added the darks and let them kind of fan around in there so it looks more watercolory. During this challenge, I am also working on loosening up and making my paintings look even more watercolory. I don't know if you probably understand what I mean. Basically, I want to use the transparency of the medium and have it be more flowing. So that's something I'm working on in this challenge while painting small, which I think is even more challenging in a way because when it's bigger painting, I feel like you can let it do its thing a little better, but you're going to see me trying to get a little bit looser every painting. For this one, I was going in very loosely with my first layer, and then I was adding some darks while it was still very wet. So if you go in with more pigment while it's wet, you won't get the blossoms and things. I did want some blossoming over there on the right side of the fur there for texture. It looks like fur, so I did that on purpose. And then with these eyes here, I'm being very, very careful. I did outline them first, which you may want to do at the end actually, but I put in the light yellow first, and then I drop in the more amber color because I wanted there to be variation. Like I always want there to be variation in color. So in the background, I didn't just do straight green. I was dropping in blues and greens and yellows so that it was more watercolory looking. And same thing with the fur. I was trying to make the stripes look a little bit more loose and free, and I think that would have helped to drop those in when it was slightly damp still, the background, and it would have looked a little more watercolory. But see, I drop it in and then I went in with a damp brush and I softened some of the edges. So just playing around with that and seeing. But if I would have dropped in that black right away when I had added that orangey color, it would have blobbed out really fast. So you got to watch that. That's the trick of watercolor, is how wet everything is and letting certain things dry, and then knowing when you can go back in and knowing if you have to let everything dry. So that's one of the biggest things with watercolor, and how much paint and water to use and everything. So I can talk more about those things. If you give me specific questions, I can do a focused video if you have anything you'd really like me to address. But I just think this challenge is so much fun, and I hope you guys are enjoying it. I can't wait to see what animals you all pick to paint, and feel free to do as many as you want throughout the week and post them. It'll be a lot of fun to see them. I know the sketchbook that I showed in the video, you should be able to do, I believe, 5 a week if you want to of each theme. And what else? Let's see. So yeah, I think that's about it. So just having a lot of fun here, and you can count on at least one video a week on the theme. Sometimes I may throw a bonus video up for fun. If there's a certain animal you would like to see me paint, I'm open to those suggestions. And then if I have time, I'd be happy to do a bonus video. And if you have specific questions about that, what you'd like to learn, or if you'd like to do an animal in more bright colors and not the natural colors, or if you'd like to learn more about matching the colors or anything like that, just let me know, and I will try to do one bonus video a week too. So definitely one a week, and then if you guys have questions or suggestions, I will pick one to do as a bonus video. That'd be really fun. I just thought of that. That'd be a fun thing. So anyway, I'd appreciate it if you like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. So like this video, and any comments would be appreciated. Anything that you are finding fun, challenging with the Tiny sketchbook, or anything like that. So love to hear from you, and very excited to see your animal paintings. So have fun with this, and I'll be watching the hashtags so everybody else can watch the hashtags too, so you can see what everybody's making. So it's Tiny Watercolors in June and Watercolor Journal Club. You can tag me if you'd like to be sure that I see your posts. That'd be great. And over on Instagram, you can check out the post about the group and everything, and get all the fun details there too. And you can follow me over there too, so you know when the videos are posted and everything. Thank you so much for being a part of this. This is a lot of fun, and happy painting.